This is the Haval H6 GT, a mid-size SUV that comes fully loaded with kit that you'd rarely find on a car for under 100K. However, you can get one of these things for as little as $40,000. So the car looks really good, the price is good, but does this car really Haval it all? Let's find out.
There are two variants to choose from in the Haval H6 GT range. You have the entry-level front-wheel drive Luxe model starting from $40,990 drive away, or you can snag the top-spec all-wheel drive Ultra priced from $46,490 drive away. We're testing the Ultra grade today, and our car has the premium Crown Grey paint, which costs an extra $495, bringing our total as tested drive away price to $46,985. The Haval H6 GT was first introduced in Australia in 2022, following the success of the Haval H6 SUV. Despite being marketed as the sportier version of the Haval H6, under the bonnet you'll find the same 150 kilowatt, 250 Newton meter, 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine, and that's mated with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission across all variants.
What really sets the Haval H6 GT apart from its competitors is this sloped roofline. None of its rivals have a coupe styling. We also have some dark over fenders, double spoiler, and these little winglets here that don't do much for aerodynamics, but they do look pretty cool. We also have the bright green brake calipers and Michelin tires to complete the sporty look. We also have these LED lights here and a aggressive looking grille, as well as some fake carbon fiber panel, which actually doesn't look too bad. Now this is a cabin that I wouldn't mind stepping into every day. We've got our two digital screens here, one for the infotainment and one as the digital driving cluster, as well as some Alcantara accented trim and a panoramic sunroof. It's hard to believe that this is one of the more affordable mid-size SUVs on the market. Now for storage, we've got plenty of options. We've got a huge center console bin here. We've got another layer underneath here as well. We've got a phone nook here with wireless charging, foldable cup holders, a key storage compartment, and bottle holders in the doors. So you'll never be short on storage in here. This car does have Apple CarPlay, which is fantastic, but it is a wired connection from the passenger side. So you'll need to thread your phone cord through the hole in the center console.
Each to their own, but I'm not the biggest fan of the rotary dial gear selector. It can be a bit finicky, and to me it cheapens the sharp look of the cabin. Let's take a closer look at the infotainment system. In the Luxe variant you have a 10.25-inch screen, but in the Ultra grade we're testing today you get the bigger, beautiful 12.3-inch display. The graphics on here are sharp and it is a very feature-rich system, although it is a bit of a puzzle to navigate through the various menus and sub-menus, which certainly takes some getting used to. Plus, the screen isn't very responsive, which adds further to the frustration of adjusting things like climate control and seat ventilation on the move. The system has AM/FM radio, but not digital radio, and it also misses out on an inbuilt satellite navigation system, so you'll have to opt for your phone to mirror this feature. Accompanying the infotainment display is a 10.5-inch digital cluster. It looks great and offers a few different ways to customize the look and feel, plus it displays just the right amount of information like fuel consumption and which song you're listening to without overloading you. So while some refinements to the infotainment system would be nice, what we've got here is a cabin that feels very premium, especially when you consider its price. The seats are comfy, there's plenty of storage, and it looks swish.
So in the back seats, there's plenty of room here. For reference, I am 5'3", I've got heaps of room, so taller passengers will love sitting in the back here. Lots of knee room, lots of toe room. I really love how even for the middle passenger, there's plenty of leg room. And you're not short on amenities in here either. So you've got 2 air vents, 2 USB ports, as well as cup holders in the doors and in the center armrest. And for extra storage, you have 2 map pockets behind each of the front seats. Overall, I think it makes for a really comfortable and roomy back seat. One of the many convenient features of the Haval H6 GT is the powered tailgate. And there it goes. So with the seats up, we have 392 litres of boot space, and with the seats down, you get 1,390 litres of space. So not as much as its rivals. The sloped roofline does compromise the space a little bit, but overall, I would be pretty happy with the amount of space you get in this thing. All right, let's go for a drive. So is the Haval H6 GT all show and no go? Well, now that we're on the road, I can say that the ride is pretty soft and easygoing. It's really comfortable. The soft suspension does a really good job of absorbing all the bumps in the road, so it's nice and quiet in the cabin as well. The downside to that is that you do cop a lot of body roll, so I do find that, when I've got my lunch and things in the back, it does tend to roll around a little bit. So if you are carrying anything delicate, you will need to secure that in place. The steering as well is also really light and comfortable. For me, it's probably not as responsive as I would like it to be, but thankfully you do have customizable drive modes where you can set different levels of comfort. So you have like a light steering mode, comfort, and the sport mode. And I do prefer the sport mode because it does add a little bit more weight to it, and I find myself second guessing myself a bit less as I'm tackling some tight corners. Visibility is compromised a little bit thanks to that sloping roofline in the back there, so you can't really see the entire car behind you. But at least when you're parking, the parking sensors and the 360 view camera does make up for that tenfold thanks to that amazing resolution. So this car does have a dual clutch transmission, and with that comes a couple of quirks. You do have a little bit of throttle delay, so when you are taking off, you do kind of have to feather the accelerator pedal, because otherwise if you do go too hard too soon, you do kind of just end up revving the car and not really going anywhere. You also experience a little bit of jerkiness as well, particularly at lower speeds.
GWM hasn't compromised on safety when it comes to the Haval H6 GT. It was awarded a 5-star ANCAP safety rating in 2022 and is equipped with 7 airbags. The list of safety technologies the Haval H6 GT has is extensive, with features like blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, traffic sign recognition, auto park assist, and a crystal clear 360-degree view camera. Of course, it's great that all those features are there, however, some of these systems could use a little fine-tuning. In particular, the lane keep assist is overbearing. Driving on a bendy stretch of road, the system intrusively attempts to override your steering input the entire time, and to be honest, I don't feel fully in control. In fact, I prefer driving with this system off entirely. So while the user experience could do with some improvement, thankfully there is the option to toggle features on and off according to your preferences. Otherwise, the rest of the safety kit is a pretty solid package, and it's impressive that GWM was able to pack so many goodies at such an affordable price point. In terms of fuel efficiency, I was a little disappointed with the Haval H6 GT. GWM claims usage of 8.4 litres per 100 kilometres on a combined cycle, with its urban claim at 10.2 litres. In my time with the car, I've mostly driven on urban roads, and I've clocked 12.3 litres per 100 kilometres. Not as close to its combined figure as I'd hoped, so this thing is quite thirsty. The positive here is that it can take the cheaper 91 octane unleaded fuel, so you are saving at the Bowser.
So what have I loved about this car? I've loved the smooth, comfortable ride that you get, and it absorbs all the noise. It's nice and quiet. Dislike the inefficient fuel consumption and the jerky transmission. Hasn't been the best. Although in saying that, hasn't had a huge negative impact, and in my time with the car, I've actually had a lot of fun. As you can see, the Haval H6 GT is a worthy competitor in the busy mid-size SUV market. It's packed full of features and has a great price to match. If you're upgrading from a much older vehicle, perhaps the niggles with the dual clutch transmission and the puzzling infotainment system may not be a deal breaker for you, and you may not even notice them. And what you get for the price tag is near impossible to find on competitors. Not to mention how good looking and striking this car is on the road, so we have to give GWM props for that. If you liked this video, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest content. Head to Drive.com.au to read the full review, and thanks for watching.